Welcome back, my Nakamas! I'm Zenki from DigiSlots and I'm happy to present you another video from another deck that is tier 1 and pretty hyped. It is Kaido. Kaido is a starter deck card that you can pick up from 2 starter decks, mix up with some new super rares, and uncommons from the new set, and having a blast breath of a deck. I want to special thank you guys for the huge video views. I had over 1,500 views on the last video. I'm pleasure that you all enjoyed it, and thank you for the warming commentaries. We have a giveaway. It's soon end. Like the video, comment your favorite card from the One Piece card game. You can comment here as well if you want to, or maybe your purple card, or what's your favorite deck. And be a subscriber. On 1,250 subs, I give away 10 pre-release Don cards to you guys, and the next giveaway, if you are supporting a lot, like we can do a deck if you want to. Thank you guys, watch till the end and have fun with the deck profile. Let's go find the One Piece. Okay, we are now here at the deck profile with our Kaido leader. Our Kaido leader is active main. Once per turn, you can put 7 Don cards back into your Don deck and delete 1 life. It doesn't matter where the Don cards are attached to. You can choose from the attached Don. If you swing with your leader, you can choose to remove them and back to your Don deck to getting the 1 minus life of your opponent. Just to let you know about this ruling, like the video before, you loved it. This deck is pretty good. Worse is the decks called Trafalgar and Kit, because they have a lot of board presence, and your 10 drop Kaido is pretty good, and you have a lot of ramp, you're pretty fast and can deal with the opponent's plays. You have a high DP amount of number with some cards that deal with other decks, and for me, for the most not likely matchup is Ruffy and Zoro, because they can be sometimes really fast, and it's pretty aggro lineup is hard for you. Law has an aggro lineup as well, but it depends on that you can move 1 life, so he's only 3 and you need to remove the other lives. It's pretty easy with this leader, because in the early game they're taking a lot of life, the Laws, and then you remove them and swing with huge beater and they can get over it. It's pretty nice for you. And we come to deck profiles. We're playing 4 of the ulti. You can substitute this card for any card. I love to have the ulti, because the on-play effect from this card is on-play. For 1, you can add 1 Don rested from your Don deck. You can play as well, if you like, the Sasaki. The Sasaki said, Don, when attacking you might trash 1 card from your hand and add 1 card from your Don deck and rest it. It is pretty good as well. Then we playing 4 of the Black Maria. She is our blocker, and if you don't like the ulti and like more the Sasaki because it's a 2k counter, I can provide it, but because ulti has sadly not a counter on here. And we play 4 blocker as well, the Kurumuzi Higarashi, 1000 counter as well. 3000 blocker is better than 2000, but we're having in the early game some blocker and some ramping, what we can do, because we want to go second with the deck. Then we have 4 jacks in our deck. You might trash 1 card from your hand, add 1 card from your Don, and so this is active. This is pretty good, because then you can do it on your Kaido and active Don and can swing with more power in the turn. For our 4 drops, we playing for ulti, just to have the counter 2000 in our hand, what is pretty nice, and the jack is a 1000 counter as well. Then we playing from the new set, the X-Drake. Like you saw, the ulti is a rare too, so it's a lot of high rare stuff. Compared, like, I don't know if in America, I heard it's hard to get, but on play Don -1. Your opponent's treasures 1 card from the hand is pretty nice, because you can get rid of like some events if they have in hand versus red, if they keep 1 card over 2000 counter, and he's as well 2000 counter again. And like you saw, you have then here a lot of counter cards in your deck, and if you like Sasaki more, then you have even more 2000 counter, what is pretty nice. Then for our blocker units, having more blocker is our queen. It is our Allure of Darkness in our game. Draw 2, discard 1 is pretty nice. Sometimes you need not a lot of copies of cards, or they are coming too late and then you can throw them away. He's a 6000 fixed blocker, what is pretty nice to deal with a lot of stuff in the meta, and I like him really much. Then we playing 2 Furukuju. For 6 and 8000 it's pretty nice to answer the opponent kit plays or something like this, to evenly going higher amount, and he's a counter. I know he's a vanilla, but I like him as a 8000 drop for 6, what's like countering in the mirror match sometimes other things, because for the other 6 drop we're having 3 of the king. I know you can max out the king if you swap out the 4 ultis, substitute 1 king, 1 Kaido, 2 Sasaki if you want to, or 2 Thunder Bagura, but we come to later. Don -1, KO one of your opponents with 4 cost or less is pretty nice, and if they swing with it, you have an 8000, you're higher up and can give him Don, and then you beat the most of the stuff. Then for our 7 cost, the new king that we playing, on play Don -2, and then KO one of your opponent's character with a cost 3 or less, and one of your opponent's character with a cost 2 or less is pretty nice. So you're playing both opportunities to clear a lot of stuff on board, what is pretty cool, but they don't have an additional counter as well, and Fukuju have a counter, what is pretty nice if you just want to counter with him, and mirror match pressure or pressure the king, and 8000 beater is pretty nice for a 6 cost play. Then we playing 3 on the on-play Rush Kaido. You can play them as a 4-off if you want to cut out the ultis, but I think for the 3-off is pretty nice. 10,000, it's not a counter as well. That's the reason I dropped them so low, but Rush in your opportunity is pretty nice, and has Animal Kingdom Paris in the threat, because we are threatened about this card. It is the character 10 drop Kaido on play -6 Don. If your leader has the Animal Kingdom Paris type, KO all of your characters other than this character. So you kill all the other characters you have on board, so all the time swing before you play the 10 cost Kaido, and that is pretty rough. And he's the 12,000 beater, and what is pretty nice, because he substitute the effect from this card, the other dual color substituted as well, so you can play it in both decks. And I like this card because it's killing all the things, because red and green are always aggressive to deal with your high amount of cards, and then you clear out the board and then you're good to go. For the events and stages stuff, we play 4 Onigashima, our RAM card that helps us in the game. We want to mulligan for that because it's so good to having in the deck, and we have a lot of other cards that do stuff and ramping stuff in our deck, yes. And we need to play the 4 event Blast Breath. It's just too good. Don for 1 cost 4000 plus for this battle is pretty nice, and we play for our last card. If we can draw our cards or deal something, the 2 Brachio Bomber, main KO one of your opponent's character with a cost 6 or less, then add 1 Don card from your Don deck, just set it as active. And the trigger effect is not so good, but for 6 to counter 6 cost plays like Hawkins and stuff like that that maybe threaten you is really helpful, and to get rid of it. But you can play as well, as I mentioned, the Thunder Bagura. Thunder Bagura is a counter 2 cost if your leader or one of your character gains plus 4000 for this battle. Then if you have 2 or less life, add 1 Don card from a deck, rest it, and trigger, add 1 Don card from a Don deck, set it as active. It's pretty nice as well. Then you have like more counter cards, but I think plus pref and the 2k counters. If you want to play the Sasaki, then this is the best ratio. If you don't, you can maybe swap in Thunder Bagura. It's your thing, but this is a standard list I have for you, since we are not having like other cards for the deck, and we don't have the film cards. So I think this is the best version. This was the huge deck profile for Kaido. We're getting to Law and Sorrow and other deck profiles as well. Check out my links below. I have Twitch and Instagram. I post their stuff, and Twitch I will streaming sometimes if I open or play something. Thank you guys for watching. Stay healthy as always, Yosenki. Have fun with the Emperor Kaido.